I know how much that can distract you from sleeping. So today we'll just have whispers. I can guarantee you that until the end of this video there are no other sounds apart from my voice, so you can close your eyes if you want to, and you can try to sleep or just relax for a little bit. If you haven't seen my first video, I'm going to link it in the description. I did one of these but with the roads, and you guys seem to love it, so I decided to do another one, but this time with the Blue Yeti, because I know that some of you prefer this microphone. So here we are. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it can help you a little bit. I actually didn't plan that much for this video. I spent over an hour trying to figure out what I wanted to film, and then I decided that I just wanted to talk to you. So here we are. That's what we're doing. I'm just gonna be talking to you for a little bit. I'm gonna tell you a few things about my life. And you know, the usual, just rambling. You don't have to pay attention, it's okay. So I have been working quite a lot lately. I actually managed to get quite a few things on another platform where I stream. I managed to get on the front page from Twitch, and I can't begin to describe what that felt like. It's just such a big achievement. It just made me realize how much I've done and how far I've come since I started. It's been quite a lot, to be honest, but I wouldn't change it. Like, I went through some very bad phases while I was starting, and I feel like that only helped me getting stronger in a way. I know it might sound a little bit cliche to say that, like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger or something like that. But the truth is, I actually have been, I don't know, these past few, I would say months, like the last year, I have been evolving so much and growing so much with all of you. I didn't think that would happen. I was kind of stuck for a while. I guess that for quite a long time I always felt like I was still stuck in this child or teenage phase of my life. I didn't really feel like an adult. I still don't sometimes. But I feel like I am finally becoming a little bit more adult, and especially as a woman, for a very, very long time, I felt like I was just a kid. So there were a lot of things that I couldn't see on myself, and they would cause a lot of anxiety whenever someone mentioned them or something. But I'm so glad that I'm finally entering this phase of my life, because I feel like there's so much to grow still, but I've already made quite a few steps towards it, and I feel like I keep growing, which is really nice, and it feels good. On a lot of days, I do feel like I can't do this, not really in charge, or kind of like, I feel like an imposter. I feel like imposter syndrome is a thing. And it is so real because basically my brain just sabotages itself. It keeps telling me stuff like, oh, you're doing so awful, like you're awful at what you're doing, and everybody else is doing way better than you, and everybody hates you, everybody will leave you at some point, everybody will, I don't know, that's just how my brain goes. And lately it has been quite harsh. There were quite a few things that happened, and I feel like sometimes if you don't get closure from something, it is kind of hard to move on, and it leads you to a lot of insecurities. And due to some things that happened recently, I gained a lot of those insecurities again, which I didn't have. I feel like a lot of my days lately I spend trying not to believe my brain, because if I were to believe my brain, I would isolate myself, which is not really what I want. It's just that in my brain, I feel like everyone will leave. I'm just getting a little bit emotional now, but that's true. I feel like it's my own fault. I make people want to leave sometimes, and I can't really hold people for long in my life. I don't know, I always feel like a second option. But with both my YouTube family, my Twitch family, you guys have been so wonderful. You have been putting me in the first place most of the times, and a lot of you tell me that so often. So I don't know why my brain is like this, but I'm trying to help you sleep. So not very good at this moment. My point is, I just wanted to share these feelings because first of all, it feels really nice to talk about them, and second, I feel like a lot of you have been feeling this way. A lot of you have been feeling alone. I've been feeling like you're lost, and that sucks. Honestly, I just wish I could take away those thoughts, those feelings. I truly wish. I am doing my best to help you all feel slightly better, and at the same time, you're also helping me because you allow me to explore my feelings as well. And you've been doing a lot more than you might think, because in fact, you being on that side has been one of the best things for my mental health. I cannot describe it. It's amazing. I don't think I would have grown so much if it weren't for you. So, thank you. I was trying not to get too emotional on this video because so much that sometimes whenever someone talks about their feelings, we're just like, I can't with this right now. That's just silly, isn't it? I feel like we are just avoiding all the time. We keep avoiding feelings, and then they become way worse. We don't talk enough. We don't express ourselves enough. We just don't do enough to help ourselves, really. We do our best to help others, but then when it comes to us, we're just always so scared of like taking care of our mental health and our bodies even. It's weird, isn't it? But you're not alone. I feel like sometimes we just start feeling like we're the only ones trying to figure out what to do next. When in reality, we're all a little bit lost, right? I said this recently, and I meant it. I feel like we're all lost. No one really knows what they're doing with their lives. And I feel like sometimes we just try too hard to be like the others. We keep comparing ourselves to people around us, when in fact we shouldn't do that, like ever. It's okay to support other people and to like check what they're doing and be happy for them. But we also need to be careful with the amount of information that we consume every day. The amount of social media, the amount of other people's lives that we consume, because it can be so damaging for us. Sometimes we're just kind of punishing ourselves, like directly. It's so weird. Like we're feeling alone, but for some reason we keep scrolling on social media, watching videos of people with friends and being super happy. And we just feel sorry for ourselves. And then it gets even worse because we're just consuming all this happiness from other people. And at the same time, it's like we don't have any. So I do think we should all try to find a balance for that. I'm always trying to bring you both good things and bad as well. So I try to share everything, like a little bit of everything. When I'm happy, I like to share with you that I'm happy. But when I'm sad, when I'm struggling, I also like to share that with you. Because I want you guys to see that social media is not what it looks like. Our lives are not perfect. We might look super smiley face on Instagram, but then in reality we might even be crying while posting that picture. It's all kind of fake, isn't it? I feel like an hypocrite sometimes, like talking about this, but mostly because here I am being a content creator online. I'm kind of part of that influencer, I hate this word, influencer kind of lifestyle. Like sharing your life online, and people look at you and they think, oh my god, I wish I was like this. But in all honesty, I hope people don't see that towards me. How do I explain it? I don't want people to look at my social media and think everything's perfect. Or I don't want people people to enter my streams or my videos and think she has everything figured out, she has her life together. I try to put bits of reality, like everything that I post is part of my reality, and I do have a lot of happy moments, which I'm grateful for, but I try to put a big dose of the hard reality. Of course, I'm not gonna be posting videos like crying and saying like, oh, I am so sad right now, because I don't think that's the kind of vibe that I'm going for. But I do share with you when I struggle, like, guys, I had a bad moment, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling like this, and you guys always help me. I feel like that's being a little bit more human, and that's really important for a content creator, is to make people feel like we're not perfect, because we're not. And I mean, if you've been following me for a while, on YouTube I do show a lot more of my happiness, because I usually have a very positive attitude on my videos. But on my streams, you do get to know me a little bit more, and you do get to know whenever a day doesn't go well, or whenever I'm just not feeling it. I share that with you, and you guys usually help me a lot. And I feel like that's really nice. It feels really good to be able to talk about how I feel, knowing that you guys are listening. It's been quite a journey. Sometimes I can't believe that I make videos for a living. Can't believe that I get to turn on a camera on my computer and stream for a bunch of people that listen to me for 3 hours. Life's crazy, and it's been chaotic most of the time. I'm getting emotional again, I don't know why. Just ignore my whole face, just close your eyes. I feel like life has been full of ups and downs, as it should. For a long time I thought, this sucks. Excuse my language, but it was just like that for quite a while. I lost myself quite a lot when I was like a teenager. A lot of changes, I guess, and I didn't know how to handle those changes. Now I'm telling this story because I know that some of you might relate to it, so I want to put it forward so you can somehow find some comfort knowing that you're not alone. So when I think I've told you, a lot of you know this already. I talked about it on my tattoos video. When I was 13, my dad passed away. Now, what I didn't talk a lot about was the behind the scenes. Like, what was going on. I was 13, I was in school. A lot of my life is blurred. Like, those years in my memory, they are kind of blurred. Because it was just a lot to process, and I guess my brain shut down quite a lot of times. I have 2 brothers. They are older than me. And when everything happened, we were all trying to figure my mom is an amazing woman. She managed to keep going with 3 kids, lots of bills to pay, lots of stuff to take care of, and she managed to do it. I still don't know how, but she did it. I'm really grateful for that. But for a long time, for a few years, so up until I was 13, I was just living my life as a child, right? And then when that happened, something had to change. Like there was a little switch. And I started losing a little bit of that happiness, and I wasn't as cheerful as before. I also started getting kind of emotionless. Like I lost my emotions towards a lot of stuff, and it was always kind of hard to process things. It's not that I didn't have my emotions, but they just weren't the same. And then I always kept going, because you know, there was so much already happening, like for my mom, that I just wanted to like do everything perfectly so that nothing else would bother her or my brothers. I was the good girl in school, good grades, doing amazing. So I kept going like that. I was like, I'll be the good girl and I'll keep everyone out of trouble. So I did. I'm really proud of everything I did, to be honest. I loved school anyway, so it wasn't that bad for me. But I did miss out on a few things because I don't know, I somehow lost my interest in those things. Like, my friends were going out and I would be like, nope, staying home. Or even if I went out, I'd be like, okay, it's 2 a.m. I want to go home. I held back on a lot of stuff, even because I didn't feel confident in myself. I just wouldn't do stuff. So for many years, I wasn't really doing much, to be honest. But that's okay, you know. It's totally fine. Super young. And now looking at the present, I feel like there's so much that in these 3 years that I've been doing ASMR, so many things have changed. I've met so many people, and as a person, I changed so much, and I'm really grateful for that, because I learned how to give myself some credit, how to understand how my feelings are valid. So I want you to know that you should always put yourself first. You should always validate your feelings, give them the right importance, because everything you're feeling right now, it is totally valid, no matter how small it might seem, okay? I know that sometimes it feels like we're being selfish for thinking about ourselves first, and it can be really difficult, but we just gotta do it. Like, you really have to try really hard to put yourself first. I can't talk much about it because I only started doing that recently, but I can see how much it changes your life. It's crazy. Like, I used to say yes to everything just to please other people. I used to try and be the person that everyone wanted me to be, and I forgot about being myself. I have this, for example, I have this goofy side that I love. I love that about myself. I love that I'm goofy and clumsy and all that. I was scared that people would just find me awkward and weird. And so I was being the nice girl again. And recently I've started showing that a lot more. And I'm so happy because you all have been so supportive. You have been like you're on it with me. You're always pushing me to do better. You're always pushing me to be myself. And I couldn't be happier with that. I know this video is being like a lot of info. You're probably sleeping already because it's almost 30 minutes of video already, so I hope you're sleeping, or I don't know, at least relaxed. But I just felt like opening my heart a little bit in here because it feels really nice. Sometimes I'm just talking to myself, and I wish I could get some sort of feedback from all that conversation, you know. And in here, I know a lot of people won't even get to this part of this video, but some of you will. And that means that my word will reach you. Everything that I just said in this video, you heard it. And that means a lot. And I know that if I can at least reach one person and make them feel slightly less alone in their fight, that makes me really happy. Like, honestly, really happy. I wish sometimes I had that kind of understanding towards certain points of my life. Like, you know how we always think we're alone in everything. Like, oh, I don't like my hair. And then we discover that someone else doesn't like their hair. And somehow that feeling of understanding makes you feel better, because you realize that it's not just a you thing. It's like a lot more people are feeling the same way. So that's what I'm trying to do with my videos. I know I get some boring conversations in this sometimes, but it is what it is. It's me. And I hope that's enough. And even if it isn't, I learned that that's okay. Even if it's not enough for someone, that's okay. You're finding this video boring, that's okay. Still me. You're still you. And just because you don't like something that I do, it doesn't make me less valid, doesn't make me less important. It doesn't make me less human. So, I hope you on this, like on the other side of this screen, I hope you know that not everyone will like you. And that's okay. Because a lot of people will love you. And that's an amazing feeling. Even when just one person loves you, that's the best feeling in the world. Getting some appreciation from someone, it's just, it feels really nice. Even from strangers on the internet. And that's something that I'm working really hard to pass on. Like being kind to other people, being kind to strangers. It goes a long way, believe me. Even if you're one of those tough people, you know, I don't talk feelings kind of people, that's okay. You don't need to talk feelings to be nice to other people, so just keep in mind that we all have our fights. We all struggle. We all feel happy. We all feel sad. At the end of the day, human, and we're just trying to figure out what to do. So be kind to everyone. I have lived with this philosophy for a long time. I feel like I grew up with it because it was the way I was raised by my parents, and they were always helping. Even if they didn't have anything, they were always helping other people. Like my mom, when my dad passed away, my mom was alone with three kids, and there was a point where we didn't have money for food, and so we got a neighbor signing us up for this food bank. The food bank basically gives people food monthly to people who can't afford, and so we were getting food from that food bank. And even though we were kind of struggling, my mom would still take food from that basket each month, and she was sharing it with this other lady that was her friend. She also had a kid, and she wouldn't qualify for the monthly help, unfortunately, but she didn't have anything. Sometimes they didn't have food for the day, and so my mom was still, I remember going with my mom and giving them food. They would be so happy. One day we entered their home, and like that lady, she was making this, it's a really sad situation, but she boiled some water, and then she put some flour in there, and she was just doing some sort of, baby food, but it was just flour and water to feed her kid. The girl was like 5 or something, and that was their dinner. That was going to be their dinner. Like, if we didn't arrive with food, they would eat flour with water. I still don't know until this day, how can this world be like this? It's not fair. But the important thing is that kindness really helped that situation. And that's the message from that story, is that if you see someone struggling, just give them a word. See if they need help. They might need it. And you might actually end up helping them a lot more with just that simple act of kindness. Just putting this out there for anyone that wants to hear it, for anyone who wants to listen. It's here, and hopefully it will make someone change their mind, maybe, or just act on something later on. Or maybe it won't change a thing, but that's okay. I tried my best. Anyways, this video is getting way too long of me just rambling. I hope that's good. I know that some of you struggle to fall asleep, and sometimes it might take like an hour to being able to actually close your eyes and then sleep. So, here I am, keeping you company. If you're still here, and if you're still not sleepy, that's okay. Hopefully you'll be able to sleep soon. I hope you feel a little bit better, at least. Even if I don't help you sleep, I hope I can help you calm your mind a little. Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it. person, and I appreciate you. Like, for real. For reals. Now, I'm gonna be on my way. I'm gonna let you sleep. I'm gonna let you rest for a bit. I'm gonna stop my rambling. And I also need to go to sleep myself because it is late. But thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Slightly different with this mic. And I know this mic is better for some of you that might have hearing problems or even broken headphones or just want to listen through the phone, because this mic ends up not separating the sound so much, or at all. So that's good. If you want me to do more whispering videos, like whispers only, let me know, and I'll definitely get to it. I'm enjoying these videos because I can just talk, and I love talking. So yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for being on that side, and I hope you can have a great day tomorrow, great week, great month. If you're going through a rough time in your life, I hope things get better, and please don't give up, okay? You're worth fighting for. Just know that, okay? I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I'll see you on my next